Madana-gopāla Prabhu ki! What an electrifying kirtan. And maybe you want to have one more, is it?
Yes.
We are kirtan fanatics here.
Definitely. I can see that.
And today's class is very special. I don't even know. But to know more about it, I'll just give you a brief introduction. Prabhu is very humble, but I'll still go ahead and tell you who he is. In my opinion, one of the most decorated devotee in the arsenal of Srila Prabhupada's army. It's one of the most decorated. Born in a very pious Gujarati family in Kenya, and at a very young age, he started joined ISKCON. He started chanting at the age of 14. Now you must be thinking, he looks so young. What's his age? Vidyapati Prabhu asked the first question as soon as he came in this house. Prabhuji, what's your age? If you don't mind. Was that the same question?
Yes. Thank you.
It's been 35 years. He has been practicing Krishna consciousness. So from 14 years, now you can calculate. And you must be shocked, you know? Does it look like it? But it's so nice to have him. And we all felt the vibration. And he moved to United States for higher education. A beautiful family. His son, who is studying doctor. Within a couple of years, he will be a doctor. And Prabhu got initiated by Satyaswarup Goswami Maharaj in 1999. And since then, he has been offering his services into various levels of ISKCON. I'll give you some brief idea about his services in ISKCON. He currently serves as a temple director of ISKCON Parsippany. Parsippany. There's a huge project going on. I think it's a $10 million.
Yeah, almost more like 15
Little more
million.
than his budget went high. He's handling a project which is over $10 million. It's a new temple opening up there. And he has so many tips for us. If anyone is interested in fundraising, join the fundraising team, because he's successfully doing it. He has been a zonal supervisor for around 4 years now. And currently he is a faculty for GBC College. And he's a co-director of ISKCON Communication for North. I got into
North America.
North America, yes, North America. And he works hand in hand with Anuttama Prabhu Senior. And I got introduced to Prabhu in pretty much 2023. I was just telling Prabhu that Maharaj was here and he was on a PEI tour, and I was driving him in PEI for 3 days. And that's how Prabhu happened to call him. And I have attended his fundraising seminar. So I heard his voice. I asked Maharaj, is it Madana-gopāla Prabhu? And he said, yes, it is Madana-gopāla Prabhu. And that's how we got connected. And then Vidyapati Prabhu had a very nice connection with him as well. And Prabhu also came for one of the divine dialogues, probably Mike,
Yes.
and we were so amazed with that divine dialogue. He was scheduled to come in 2025, but something happened and he couldn't come, but finally he made it here. And he is initiating Guru as well. And there's so many things that I can tell about Prabhu. But thank you so much, Prabhu. It means a lot. This is our family, and this is, you can see each and every person as the pillar of the foundation of ISKCON Halifax, the foundation of the dream of His Holiness Bhakti Marg Swami Maharaj. And we are blessed to have such an incredible. There are more people joining very soon. They are serving at the temple right now. But yes, now I would like to reveal the gift that Prabhu brought us. It's for all of us. Drum roll, please. This is a very rare gift. It is Srila Prabhupada 125th birth anniversary. If you remember, Narendra Modi inaugurated this, and this this coin was introduced. You cannot get it now. It's gone. So we have one coin, which very few temples has it. This was launched by Indian government, right?
It's Indian Mint itself. It's an official Indian 125 rupee coin.
125. It's a pure silver, and this is one of the rare things that we can have. So it's a gift to all. Thank you, Prabhuji. This stage is yours.
Okay, thank you. Screen देखा है ना बताना?
Screen?
Screen बताना देखा है ना? एकदम जो जो
I'll just go.
Yeah. No.
I'll ask everyone if they can see.
Sure. Prabhu, you can set up his camera. Yeah, put it there. You can put it there, pointing to me. Yeah. Thank you.
Everybody's able to see the screen, the monitor?
It's kind of small, but hopefully you should be able to see it. Vanchasa nahi, but at least you can see some.
Yeah, I think that should be fine.
You can see some of the graphics. There's not much to read anyway.
No, it's okay.
Thank you, Amrish Prabhu, for your very generous introduction, and thank you to all of you for attending. And it's a real honor to see so much energy. I just started singing, everybody just started jumping like, this is the way to do it. I was wondering how they keep warm in this part of the world. Now I know that your hearts are so warm and you already have so much love for Krishna. And I have so much to learn from all of your love that you have for each other. It's really uplifting to see. So thank you for your kind association. You can just say along with me. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gaurvani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatadhyasacharine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Please repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 So I call this talk 3 Loves, 1 Life. Questions you wanted to ask about practical Krishna consciousness. Practical means you're already devotees, but how to practice it. The question you wanted to always ask about practical Krishna consciousness, but were afraid to. So we'll dive right into it. Let me begin by saying something very honest. Most people who walk into a temple or attend a class or even get initiated are quietly asking questions they're afraid to ask out loud. Questions like, is it wrong that I still want to succeed in my career? If I really surrender to Krishna, will my ambition to succeed in the world die? What happens to my marriage, my children, my friendships with my non-devotee friends? I mean, we ask these questions. Maybe we don't. We just, can I ask it? So I'm asking for you. Am I less spiritual because I enjoy my job, money, comfort, recognition? Does that make me less of a devotee? Maybe, is it only me asking this question? Do you all have it? Maybe at least, yeah, one person. Thank you. I thought I was alone, And perhaps the most honest question of all. Well, one more. Why does it feel like my heart is being pulled in 3 different directions at once? We'll talk about the 3 directions. And the most honest question of all, can I love Krishna really deeply without destroying the rest of my life? The truth is, almost every householder is navigating 3 powerful desires at the same time. We're talking about householder devotees who have decided they want to be Hare Krishna devotees. I'm talking about those, not regular. What is it? Number 1, a strong longing for God. We all have that. For meaning, for intimacy with Krishna, for closeness, to really know. We have that longing. It's undeniable. That's why you all keep coming again and again. This is number 1 for us. No doubt about it. Number 2. Number 2. A desire to build something in the world. The other direction, yeah. Career, stability, excellence, contribution to general society. We all have that to some degree, and sometimes it's quite strong. A third one, a deep need for genuine human connection. Family, spouse, children, friends who may not share our spiritual worldview, but still they are friends. Krishna consciousness does not deny these tensions. Krishna consciousness educates them. That's the proper way, healthy way to approach it. Today we are not talking about renunciation. We're not talking about everyone takes sannyas. We are talking about integration. How can we integrate? Not escape from life. Not to be embarrassed by life either. But learning how to live life consciously, meaningfully. Main point is every soul has an irreversible hunger for connection with Krishna. They may know it, they may not know it, they may acknowledge, they may not understand it, but this hunger, this deep vacuum is there in every soul because we are actually connected with Krishna eternally. That's who we are. So we feel this. And it's very strong. It's not like a pastel thing, like love for poetry or something. It's very deep. It's intense. When someone comes in contact with Krishna consciousness, something awakens. This awakens. Not because they were convinced philosophically so much, not because they were pressured into it or guilted into it, but because the soul remembers something that it has forgotten. That is the spark, not external pressure. It's your own thirst. The desire to chant the name of the beloved, desire to hear more about him, a desire for inner clarity, discomfort with superficial living. You lose taste for it. You start feeling all these things. They're not from external guilt or pressure, it's from within. And you feel it. This is not extremism. This is not sentimentality. This is an eternal memory. A memory that we hold deep in our souls. But here is where the confusion begins. The heart often wakes up before the rest of the life is reorganized. And so there's a bit of a tension there. So what happens? And this happens to pretty much all of us, because our heart is awakened. Oh, there's something in this Krishna, this Hare Krishna, is something. But the rest of life, I need to figure it out. Some people think, now that I want Krishna, maybe everything else is wrong. Career feels suspicious from the point of view of Krishna consciousness. Family can feel even distracting. Enjoyment feels guilty. And this is where unnecessary suffering begins. Are we together?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I just hope it's not just me, I'm trying to articulate what I've experienced, and I'm hoping that you're also somewhat experiencing the same thing. Plain English. Okay. Anybody seen a Hare Krishna initiation? Yes? Initiation ceremony? You saw. There's an initiation ceremony right here in this room. Amrish Prabhu got initiated right here. Those who have seen initiations, attended any of them, you start, I also want to get initiated. You feel something, yeah? Initiation does not mean you suddenly lose interest in the world. Initiation does not mean your responsibilities disappear, or that your relationships become secondary overnight. No. Initiation means that I am choosing to orient my life around Krishna as the center. That's all. Krishna is my main number one priority. That's what initiation means. It means, Krishna, I'm yours, you're mine. That's my main thing in life. Doesn't mean other things don't matter. Everything else adjusts gradually around that one priority. It's a gradual, organic, natural adjustment. And if anyone ever told you that sincere devotion means emotional dryness or social irresponsibility, they have misunderstood Krishna consciousness. Let's talk honestly about work and ambition. How many people work in the world, kind of professional, or how many are students aiming to become professionals at some point? So we got either students who want to be professionals, or those who already work in the professional world, or how many people work but not in a professional capacity? Okay, so everybody's pretty much working somehow. You're a student, right? You go to school, what grade are you in?
6.
6th grade. Do you like it? What's your favorite subject?
Math.
Math, right?
Yeah.
Yeah? That's awesome. What's your name?
Dave, D-E-V.
D-E-V, Dev. Thank you. See, this is smart. Spell it out. Because everybody said, oh yeah, they're writing D-A-V. No, D-E-V, not D-A-V-E. That's good. It's like knee-jerk response, Dave, D-E-V. Very smart. See? So we have ambitions. Maybe we want to succeed in a particular line, whether it's a student or it's a professional career, or even building a family. We want to do good things in the world. Is ambition opposed to devotion? You see this little cartoon that I put together. What will please Krishna? Is ambition opposed to devotion? No. But ambition based on identity is different from ambition based on service. So there is certain aspects of ambition that are actually unhealthy. That's what we need to parse out. There's the ambition that says, I need this success to feel valuable and valued. Or my worth depends on my outcomes. Or I am the controller. Right, that's ambition. And then there's excellence that says, I have abilities. I have responsibilities. I will act ethically, responsibly, and offer the results. That's wonderful. Krishna never asks householders to become careless or passive. He asks householders to become honest. You see. So, the problem in understanding all this, the problem is not money. The problem is forgetfulness. When career itself becomes the center, then our anxiety grows infinitely. But when Krishna becomes the center, then career becomes a tool to assist in your service to Krishna. Then the anxiety is not based on the tool. You see, you still work hard. You still aim high. You still apply your full intelligence. But success no longer defines your soul. Your soul is defined by a connection to Krishna. And that's the big identity shift that we are moving toward in our Krishna conscious practice. That's the clarity that we're aiming toward. That is called balance. You know, some balance, spiritual, material life. Balance is not how many hours you put here and how many hours you put there. No. Balance is, can you reconcile the strong desire to have Krishna in the center and still work well in the world? Can you see it properly? What does it mean to have Krishna? That's what balance means, to have Krishna in the center. Krishna was speaking to a householder who was confused. He kept saying, I don't want to do my job now. I'm not going to do it. Krishna said, no, you got to do it. No, but who was that? Who was that Krishna spoke to? Arjuna. And then after a whole conversation, lasted like 45 minutes, then Arjuna said, okay, I'm going to do it now. I'm going to do what you say. When Arjuna was shooting those arrows in the battlefield, was he like pulling them half-heartedly like this because now, he's a devotee? No. Full strength. Those arrows would go through like 5 people at a time. Intense. He's not doing half-baked, half-hearted work. So when we have to do our work, we don't do half-baked, half-hearted work. We are working for Krishna now. Our goal is to please Krishna. Excellence. That's the proper way to understand. Intensity, but not for our selfish reasons. Intensity so that we can bring Krishna more in our focus as the goal of our lives. Okay? Now let's address relationships. Because this is where hearts are most vulnerable. We talked about job and career, but something is even more on our minds is relationships. Does spiritual life, that's a question here on the screen. Does spiritual life require emotional distance? No. It requires emotional maturity. That's the difference. Householders are not meant to become monks. Yeah. See, Ambarish Prabhu is wearing saffron on top, but at the bottom is white, like me. It's not. That's why I changed. We're not meant to be monks. That's why I got the border and everything. Nice. They're meant to be, householders are not meant to be monks, they're meant to be bridges. Your family members may or may not chant. Your spouse may or may not share your enthusiasm. What's the plural of spouse, Dave? It's spouses, it's very easy. It's not spice. Anyway. Mouse is mice, but spouse is spouse. Anyway, spouses may not share your enthusiasm. That's fine. Your friends may not understand your values. There's an old friend from college, and they're still hanging out. They may not understand why you become, your values have shifted a little bit. Your duty is not to convert them. Don't feel obliged to pressure your spouse or your friends to become Hare Krishna. I'm not talking anymore. No. Your duty is to love without hypocrisy. Krishna consciousness does not cancel affection. It purifies attachment. There's a big difference. What does it mean to purify attachment? It means you see that person as also an eternal soul. They're not yours to exploit. They're not yours to manipulate. They're not yours. In one sense, they're your friend, they're your spouse, they're your child. But ultimately, everyone belongs to Krishna first. They're yours to care for, to be genuine with them. It purifies that attachment. You remain present in their lives. You remain caring. But you no longer make other people the source of your own ultimate security. Do you understand what I'm saying? Our source of ultimate security is Krishna. It's not that easy to do, by the way. Because when the rubber meets the road, we still lean on people other than Krishna. Yes, we lean on them as practically necessary, but we should understand ultimately who is maintaining us? Krishna. Who has always maintained us is Krishna. And who will always continue to maintain us is Krishna. To accept Krishna as your only genuine maintainer is one of the 6 symptoms of surrender, Sharanagati. Goptritve Varana. That shift is important. I'm just putting in plain English what we read in the purports and the Bhagavad Gita. So, that shift, putting Krishna in the center, changes everything, but we have to understand how to do it. At this point, Krishna speaks one of the most misunderstood instructions in the Bhagavad Gita. He says, Asaktir anabhisvanga putradara grihadishu nityam cha samachittattvam ishtanishtopapatishu. He's listing a bunch of items of knowledge. If there's a long list of items of knowledge. Amaritam adambitam ahimsa kshantirajam. In that list of knowledge, he says that freedom from unhealthy entanglement with children, spouse, home, possessions, and even-mindedness among pleasant and unpleasant events. These are items of knowledge. Now, many people hear this and panic. Does Krishna want me to love my family less? I mean, think about it. If Krishna says item of knowledge is to disentangle yourself from wife, children, family, etc., what does that mean? Does it mean I should now start being cold to them? When my wife smiles at me, I'll do like this? I mean, some people think that and actually do it. And they've ruined their lives because of it. Misreading of this Bhagavad Gita. I'm telling you, this is a real problem. Is detachment the same as coldness? Is spiritual life emotionally dry? Now listen carefully how Prabhupada writes the purport to this verse. That's why we have to read the purports. Please listen carefully to this purport. When I got married, by the way, the devotee who performed our marriage is a Prabhupada disciple by the name of Ravinder Swarup Prabhu. He performed our wedding ceremony and he read this purport. At our wedding, on this thing about being detached from wife, children, etc. But the reason why I read the purport, so I don't misunderstand that verse. It's a perfect place to discuss this. It's a perfect time to not misapply Krishna's word. Prabhupada says, listen carefully, as for detachment from children, wife and home, it is not meant that one should have no feeling for these. You remember reading that? Probably not. Read it again. They are natural objects of affection. Do you remember reading that? No. Anybody distinctly remember reading that? No, because we read too quickly. They are natural objects of affection, our family. We wouldn't think that when you just read the translation. That's why we need to read Prabhupada's words. That single sentence rescues all of us householders. And he adds another crucial qualifier. But when they're not favorable to spiritual progress and they're pulling you down, then one should not be too attached to them. And that's fine too. It doesn't mean you're still affectionate and all that. But you don't get pulled away from Krishna because of that. That's the point, you see. You don't deprioritize Krishna. Krishna still should remain your main thing. Detachment does not mean lack of love. Detachment means freedom from identity-based dependence. You still love, you still care, but you no longer say, I cannot live without this. No. Or my happiness is dependent on this specific outcome. No. If this is threatened, I am finished. No. That is real detachment. Detachment means that this particular person is not mine for me to enjoy and exploit. This is Krishna's. You actually become more affectionate. You become more caring when you become Krishna conscious, because now you care for that person's spiritual well-being as well. Now, comes the most important part of this lecture. Prabhupada doesn't stop with the philosophy. In that same purport, he continues, and I've put that over here. You may not be able to read it, but this is the purport. This is the purport to chapter 13, verse number 8 through 12. This is the one, all householders should be familiar with this purport. You should make a note of it. Prabhupada gives 4 things distinctly that will make your household life happy. You should know all these 4 things. You should do them every day. Listen carefully. The best process for making the home pleasant is Krishna consciousness. One need only, okay, listen, what are the 4 things, okay? I'll ask you. One need only, see, Prabhupada's giving a livable system. He's saying it. One need only chant the Hare Krishna mantra. Point number 1. Accept prasadam. It's very difficult to do. But still, we should do it. Read books like Bhagavad Gita and engage in deity worship. 4 things. If one can mold, this is purport, he says, if one can mold his family life in this way to develop Krishna consciousness, then there's no need to change from family life to renounced life. So we can wear white kurtas later on. There's no need to change. Like, don't gradually go like Mango Dolly or something, orange on the outside and vanilla on the inside. No. There's no need to change to sannyas. It's not necessary. There's a place for sannyas in this world, for sure. But most of us will not be that. And that's fine. But we can still be happy. And he says best process is this, 4 things. Chanting, prasadam, reading and discussing, and deity worship. Very simple. It's not that hard. So we'll go together one by one into each of these, okay? So first, chanting together. Prabhupada writes, I'm reading from the purport, okay? The family members can sit down morning and evening and chant together. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Do this. Even 5 minutes, seriously. You bring your family together. You don't need, it's not a big investment in time. But when you bring the family together in the evening and the morning, maybe morning is too much, everyone's running, that's fine. At least once in a day, evening you can do. This is not about perfection. It's about shared atmosphere. And if every day is too much, make 1 kirtan a week, fine. 1 kirtan night a week, 10-15 minutes. Even that is so valuable. Family that prays together, stays together. It's very simple. It's not that hard. What does that do? Even one kirtan a week, the kids are getting very active. An earthquake up here.
Jacked up.
Mataji went up there, the kids running over this direction. You can hear the Yes. It's about shared atmosphere. And sharing the atmosphere, coming together as a family. You will remember this later on when the kids are grown up. And the kids will remember it. It's true. They will. It creates deep impression called sanskar. You know, have you heard the word sanskar? Sanskar means impression. Sanskar, day after day, leads to sanskriti. Sanskar means deep impressions, leads to sanskriti, which means culture. Our collective impressions create our collective culture. And what culture we have cultivated leads to what we speak and how we live. And what we speak is Sanskrit. Sanskar, Sanskriti, and Sanskrit. Sanskrit is a language, not just a language of spirituality. So what does it do? It softens the ego when you do kirtan. It takes out the edge of the conflict, reduces the conflict quite a bit, believe it or not, because Krishna blesses you every day. Sometimes there's what we call mixed spirituality couples. You know what I'm talking about, where one partner is a little bit more engaged than the other, and that's fine. Actually, most couples are like that, even if both are initiated. You know, there's one that just does a little more than the other. It doesn't matter. But when there's a mixed spirituality couple, one partner chanting sincerely, without pressure, often becomes the safest space in the home. Anchor. No pressure no guilt or anything like that. It's very nice to do it. That's why we should all come together. Even if one side or one member doesn't want to do it so much or not into it so much, still, at least for the purpose of getting family together, let's come together. This is what Prabhupada is saying. Just do it. Prabhupada acknowledges. You know who else was in a mixed spirituality couple? Prabhupada himself. Right? T or me. She went with T. So that's okay. Second one. Honoring Krishna Prasad. Put a little note there. Can't read it, but it says yummy. Prabhupada writes, the devotees of the Lord are released, actually this is in the Gita, the devotees of the Lord are released from all kinds of sins because they eat food which is first offered for sacrifice. Anyone know that verse? Krishna says, Yagyashishta shina santo muchyante sarvakil vishay bhunjate te tvagam papa ye pachanti atmakaranat. That those who are offered their food to sacrifice, means offered them to me, the foods, then that food is free from sin. But those who don't do it, just eat for themselves, they suffer sinful reactions. Sinful reaction is one part, but we don't do that because we eat only prasadam. But we do it together as a family. You see? Maybe every day life is so hectic in the West. We can't sit for dinner every day as a whole family. That's fine. Make it 2 nights or 3 nights a week. But more the better. Every night, if you have dinner together and have prasadam together, it really brings us closer. I mean, this is eternal activity. In the spiritual world, they don't need to eat. Bodies are self-sustaining. And what do they do? Look at that. This is a picture from the spiritual world. They're having picnics all day and night. Here we need to eat. So we can make that eating process. Eating is probably the most frequent household activity. It's true. How much time we spend kitchen-related things, right? But prasadam, it quietly spiritualizes enjoyment. Because eating is enjoyment, right? You don't debate. You don't need to have philosophy around it. No arguments are needed. The pleasure remains. And the forgetfulness of Krishna decreases. So honoring Krishna Prasadam is very powerful. That's the second one. So the first one was what? First one was chanting. That's right. Second one is Prasadam. Very good. Third one, remember? Anyone? Yeah, that's right. Hearing Shastra. It's inspiring. Prabhupada said, have some discussion on books like Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Now this does not mean long lectures like what I'm doing right now. You don't have to be doing lectures. This is really boring. It's not sustainable. Once in a while it's okay. Madana-gopāla has come from a long, different country. It's okay. But you can have a little bit. One verse. One insight. 5 minutes. That's it, 5 minutes. It creates a moment of shared meaning when your intelligence comes together. You try to, do you understand this? You tell the son, you tell the daughter, do you understand this point? Yeah, actually I do. And the 3 modes. I have actually some videos of me and my son arguing, not arguing, but I'm trying to explain to him the concept of 3 modes. And he's like, yeah, but what happens when the mode of passion and ignorance get mixed, and then he's like getting into the questions. He's only 3 years old. Now he gives classes on Bhagavad Gita, but these kind of things, it's so much fun because it's abstract concepts that they grapple with. Then when they go to school, it's a breeze. Believe it or not, when you discuss Krishna conscious philosophy with your children, they start doing really well in school. Because like weight training for the brain and the logic. Prabhupada's presented everything so clearly, so much logic, so much that you develop a high standard of clarity without even knowing it. Side effects. That's why one insight, 5 minutes. Spiritual life and spiritual thoughtfulness, it stops being private and isolating. It becomes part of your relationship. It becomes relational. We must worship the Lord with our intelligence. What is that called? What kind of yoga is that? There's bhakti yoga, and then what is the yoga of intelligence called what?
Dhyana.
No, that's knowledge. There's another one.
Dhyana yoga.
What is intelligence?
Dhyana.
Buddhi yoga. Buddhi is intelligence. Dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mama payandite. Prabhupada equates buddhi yoga to bhakti yoga. Buddhi yoga is bhakti yoga. When you worship Krishna with your intelligence, see, the intelligence is the next door neighbor of the soul. That's why when something clicks, you feel very excited. In Krishna consciousness, when something clicks, you feel really happy. The soul dances because the intelligence is the next door neighbor of the soul. The soul feels like dancing. That's why we have to do this. Mahaprabhu even says one should not be lazy about this studying of Siddhanta. He said, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, he says, Siddhanta boliya chitte nakaro alash iha hoite Krishna lage shudhreda manash. Siddhanta boliya chitte nakaro alash. In the matter of understanding this Siddhanta, this philosophy, don't do alash. Alash means what? Laziness. You know everything. Laziness, because we have the same word in Gujarati. वो आलसू થઈ ગયો છે. Alas. We're not going to be lazy. He said, don't be lazy. Why? Iha Krishna lage shuddhrada manash. It strengthens your mind in the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. That's why we have to study this. It's not optional. Okay, so we've covered 3 so far. First one was chanting. Second was prasadam. Third one is reading. Here, Bhagavatam, right. The fourth one is deity worship. Yes, serving the divine form of Krishna at home. This is very beautiful deity, an altar. And of course, you don't need to. Not everybody needs to get full-size Jagannath like this. Not really recommended for most of you. But even if it's just a photo, Hare Krishna. See these little children, if you look very carefully, the little Madana-gopāla she's holding in her hand. Yeah. So, engage oneself in deity worship. Prabhupada says this. How do you do deity worship? You can offer a little ghee lamp, little agarbatti, some incense stick, a flower. It's a visible reminder that Krishna lives here in my house. It's very powerful. It's a deep part of our culture. It's not that difficult to do. These 4 practices are not rituals. We don't want to be hollow ritualists. They are anchors. The anchors of our heart, the genuine relationship with God. When these 4 are present, the balance, you know what I'm talking about balance? Balance stopped being a theory. It's now real. The balance of mature and spiritual life. This is how you balance it out. Invest a little bit of time in these very powerful mechanisms of expressing love. Balance is no longer a theory, it becomes a culture. So in addition to these 4, I have a couple very important points to make. Here's the secret sauce. You can't do it alone. You need community. You need your local ISKCON temple. Anyone recognize that?
Oh, that's our temple. Right? In the image.
Look closely. All those Matajis. So nice, so happy. Even I mean, if you look closely, even men are there in the back. Yeah, men can be happy. It's possible. We need community. You need your local ISKCON temple. Spiritual community at the temple. You connect to the mandir. We are so fortunate in Halifax, of all places, we have a mandir. It's such a grand temple. Take full advantage of it. And practically every month there's some utsav going on. What is utsav?
Festival.
Yeah. You know this word uttam? Uttam means like really top, right? Best. Tama means darkness. Uttama means something that takes you above darkness. Sav means sadness, depression. Utsav takes you above your sadness and depression. That's why it's called Utsav. Mahotsav, a great Utsav. It's not possible to be depressed when, everyone is dancing over here in Kirtan. I mean, just earlier we were doing it. When you have Utsav, everybody's decorating with flowers and with festoons, and there's a nice feast going to be cooking, there's going to be kirtans, there's going to be a drama, there's going to be dances, a special dress for the deities. It's not possible to be depressed for very long when you come in that environment, because everybody's so happy and bustling and, right? One of the biggest problems in the world today is actually long stretches of sadness called depression, where it gets very deep and it affects our health. It's nothing to do with our success. Some people are very rich and successful, but they're very depressed. It's nothing to do with it. But if you have Utsav month after month and you attend, it saves you. It saves your life. Utsavs can save your life because it can pull you out of that depression. Even if a few minutes of pulling out of depression does your body so much good. Really. What to speak of engaging, planning for the next. You're already planning for the next one by the time this one is wrapped up. That's how Krishna consciousness as a culture is so good for your health also. For your social health, for your mental health, for your psychological health, and of course your spiritual health. This community is magical. Strengthen the community. Grow the community. There are people dying for this. Reach out and give it to them. It's our job to do it. Prabhupada left Vrindavan. He was doing fine in Vrindavan. He came to this miserable place called America to give us this gift, to save our lives. We can never pay him back. Is it possible to pay him back? No. What can we do? We can pay it forward. Pay it forward by giving what he gave to us to other people. So that's why we come every weekend, every Saturday. It's not just a program, it's a mini utsav every week. Even every week it's a mini utsav. Spiritual food, spiritual music, spiritual people. It's like Costco for the spirit, for the soul, Walk around, people give you a free sample, Do you have Costco over here? You don't have Costco, right?
Yeah.
Even in Halifax you have Costco. That's cool.
It's two.
2 of them. Nice. Wow, so we should have 3 temples here too. Yeah. It's true, there's enough space for three centuries, but let's build this one out first. So when we stay connected to the temple, we get recharged, we get inspired, we get reminded regularly who we really are. Who are we? We are, this is our nature. Anandamaya Bhyasat. The Vedanta Sutra 1.1.12. This is the essence of all Vedic philosophy. It says the nature of the soul is what? Anandamaya Bhyasat. The soul by nature is full of bliss. It seeks bliss. But in the material world, we're always seeking it in the wrong places. You look for it in ice cream, Instagram likes, just social things like, I'm just going to get married to someone because he has a six-pack or a six-figure income, or just superficial things. We seek this bliss in the wrong places. We're not just happiness seekers. We are bliss addicts. That's who we are as souls. You can't deny it. You shouldn't. You shouldn't repress that. Neither should you invest in the wrong place. Don't put it in the wrong place. Only Krishna can satisfy that craving. We all have a vacuum in our heart, a hole in the heart. But it's Krishna shaped. It's like this and the flute there. It's exactly Krishna shaped, but it's not there. So you cannot fit other things in that gap. Square peg in a round hole. It doesn't work. But when you put Krishna, finally you feel satisfaction. That's the only thing that will make us happy, make us blissful. We can only get peace when Krishna is deep in the heart, in a very conscious way. When our consciousness focuses on Krishna and everything revolves around it. We're the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Krishna consciousness. That's all it's about. It's about Krishna. It's not that complicated. This material world is known in the Bhagavad Gita is called what? Dukkhalayam ashashvatam. It's a place of misery and temporariness. Here's a picture there. That is, it's like Himalaya. That's Himalaya. The guy's walking around in the Himalayas. Dukkhalaya in Himalaya. You know what him means? Ice and snow. Snow or ice. Him. Himalaya means there's nothing but snow and ice. Pustakalaya is library. It means you go in there, there's nothing but books. Alaya means a place with plenty of that. In fact, nothing but that. The main reason for that is to hold books. So Himalaya's main thing is snow and ice. You can't even take one step, look without seeing basically ice and snow everywhere. So it's called Himalaya. Now you know. This is what? Dukkha. Himalaya is a land of endless snow. Dukkhalaya is a land of endless woe. In Himalaya, you can never get warm. In Dukkhalaya, you can never get lasting happiness. It's never going to happen. No matter what you do, it's not going to happen. Imagine going to Himalaya and like, dude, what's all with the snow, man? You came to Himalaya, it's nothing but snow. It's called Himalaya. So it's no point. We cannot find sukh in here, or can we? We cannot find happiness in this world unless we get the sidelong glance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is right here. When Mahaprabhu glances upon us with his sidelong glance of mercy, it's an explosion of bliss in our hearts. And the whole world changes. It's called Vishram Purna Sukhayate. You might have heard this verse. Prabhupada used to quote it quite a bit. Maybe you've heard it, maybe not, but it's a very beautiful verse. I'll recite it for you. Kaivalyam narakayate tridashapur akash pushpayate Durdantindre kal sarpa patale prodkhata danshtrayate Vishwam purna sukhayate vidhimahendradish kitayate Yat karunya kataksha vaibhavatam tam gaura evastama Yat karunya kataksha vaibhavatam tam gaura. When Gaura looks at you with his sidelong, karunya kataksha means merciful sidelong glance. Then what happens? Kaivalyam narakayate. This impersonal liberation is like hell. We don't care for it anymore. It's like, nah, I don't want that. Vishwam purna sukhayate. This Vishwa becomes full of bliss. Why? Because you start seeing Krishna everywhere. It's no longer a painful prison house. Now you see everything as a sign of Krishna. The whole universe gets filled with joy. So compare. Before Krishna consciousness, everything is a burden. After Krishna consciousness, even burdens become blissful. See? So, what if one spouse is more engaged than the other? And we're going to the temple. It's a nice engagement of the family. This is a very common situation, like we discussed earlier. Spiritual life cannot be dragged. You can't drag someone into it. It can only be attracted. If one spouse is more engaged, their responsibility is not to preach harder, but it's to become kinder, more patient, more reliable, more emotionally safe. When I got married, my wife was not in Krishna consciousness. It was an arranged family marriage. And it was good. I mean, we have a happy marriage. At least I'm happy. But anyway, but she took up Krishna consciousness very deeply, much more than I could ever do. She got initiated, and she is way ahead than I could ever be. I'm very grateful for that. But in the beginning, she didn't know much about it because it's new for her. But she took it up. So my point is, this is very normal and natural. That one spouse is, But our job is to really, and sometimes the different phases of our life, sometimes one is more and then this one comes up and then, that happens too. That happens too. It's very normal, natural. We are normal human beings. We have complex variables that dictate our lives. It's fine. Our job is to always remain more kind and more patient. That's it. More emotionally safe, more emotionally grounding, more emotionally mature. If your spiritual practice makes you more self-righteous, more distant, something is going wrong. It has to make you more soft-hearted, more sensitive, more understanding. Krishna is not impressed by external intensity that damages relationships that he himself has given. He's not impressed by that. So, it's incumbent upon us. So what is the skill that Krishna talks about? He says even-mindedness amid success and failure. We have to be even-minded. Right? Balance is not controlling outcomes. Balance is stability when outcomes are unpredictable or they change. Your balance is to maintain mental stability. Our careers can rise and fall. Relationships can fluctuate. We can have arguments. Even spiritual enthusiasm can come and go. But the householder yogi, which is all of us, we're supposed to be householder yogis, learns to act responsibly without emotional collapse. And how can we do that? By drawing our strength from Krishna. Drawing our strength, inner strength from our chanting. Especially turn to him when things are really, really hard. When Draupadi is going through hell, you remember that? Right? She's being dishonored. She turned to Krishna. Krishna doesn't ask us householders to choose between love and God. He teaches us how to love without fear. That's why we bring this chanting, the prasadam and scripture and worship. We weave them into our daily life. This is how we can lean on Krishna when times are rough and tough. Any one of these can save us. You got to be careful about the prasadam part, though. You can overdo that. Be careful. But lean on it, it's okay. If you're leaning on prasadam, like focus on feeding other people. Balance is not a spreadsheet. It's not a balance sheet. It is alignment. Alignment unfolds gradually and patiently over time. If you are sincere, but imperfect, and still showing up, you're not behind. Don't think you're falling behind. You're showing up. If you show up, it means you're not falling behind. You're exactly where Krishna meets you, because you're showing up for Krishna. It's not a race. It's not a comparison to other people. It's only you and Krishna. Okay? So, call to action. 4 things. Chant together. See, home life can be either Dukhalaya or mini Vaikuntha. It's up to you. And the secret is not moving to the Himalayas. And Himalayas is basically Dukhalaya only. It's
With
really...
ice.
Huh?
With ice.
With ice, yeah. It's like, on the rocks. It's not good. I mean, this actually, here in winter, I think it's colder than Himalaya also, in Halifax. At least Himalaya is in India, But the secret is not trying to escape. The secret is moving Krishna into your home with 4 practices. Chant together, read together, prasadam, cook and offer with love, and worship together, serve the deity at home. And keep connected to your ISKCON temple. It's your spiritual fueling station. Let's become happy families, full of Krishna, full of kirtan, full of bliss. Prabhupada says, if you simply follow these principles, success is guaranteed. Prabhupada's guarantee means something. You see? Because he's a pure devotee of the Lord. So when he guarantees it's going to work. Right? So thank you all very much for your valuable time and your kind attention. Hare Krishna. So I don't know if you have time for comments or questions or anything else. Anyone wants to say anything?
I want to share one
Yes,
story.
please.
Ramanujacharya, he received 2 persons. And one person came and said, Dear Ramanujacharya, I just lost my wife and look at me. No tears. So would you initiate me? I'm completely detached.
Detached, right.
And the other guy came and his son died and he was rolling on the floor.
Crying.
Big time. So then Ramanujacharya said, and he also said, can you
Please initiate
me? And initiated the guy.
The one who was crying.
Yeah. He told the other guy that you don't have love in your heart. So how can I give you something you don't have? This person has a love, I just need to divert it towards Krishna.
Yeah, it's very important. You see, this understanding of what it means to be attached or to be detached. We shouldn't repress. Like Prabhupada said, these are natural objects of affection. Affection means you cry for them. Means you're happy when they're happy. Means you're sad when they're sad. Actually, this Vaishnavas, Krishna's devotees, are known as Paradukha Dukhi. Paradukhe Dukhi means when they see someone else is in pain, they don't feel sorry for them. They feel their pain. It's not pity. You feel the pain. Paradukhe Dukhi. You understand the difference? It's a difference between sympathy and empathy. Sympathy means, oh, so sad. Empathy means, oh, I feel your pain. 2 different things. Now, it's very interesting. Suppose there's a mother and there's a child. The child is maybe 3 years old and is having a lollipop. And the lollipop falls in the dust and it gets all dirty. And starts crying. The mother, who is soft-hearted, will come down to the level of the child and she'll, oh, don't worry. She'll make a face as if she's also crying. To make the child feel that I feel your pain. Not that, oh, what's wrong with you? No. At that level, at that age, it's important, even if it's a very immature thing, just a lollipop, you can get another one. But no. First, let me let me make you feel that I'm with you. I understand your pain. Ultimately, there's nothing big loss. It's just a lollipop. But the child is going through something. And so the mother, to resonate with the child, comes down to the level, embraces the child. Don't worry, it's okay, I'm here. She makes a sad face. You understand my point? The mother is not shaken by the loss of the lollipop like the child is. But the mother makes the child feel that she feels her pain. Now I'll tell you a beautiful verse. You might know this verse. It's from the Srimad Bhagavatam. It is the prayer of Lord Brahma. It says, Tat tenu kampam susamikshamano. Anybody know this verse? This one is worth memorizing. Tat tenu kampam susamikshamano bhunjan evatma kritam vipakam hridvag vapur bher vidadhan namaste jivet yo mukti pade sadaya bhag. Tat te anukampam susamikshamano. So Brahma is praying to Krishna. Krishna is still a little boy, of course. And he's saying, my Lord, the person, tatte anukampam, who continues to tolerate the pains and the miseries of the world because of his own bad karma. Miseries we face is all because of our own bad karma, nobody else. While tolerating the miseries of the world that he's accumulated, vipakam, it's called vipakam means fully cooked, means ready. Means our karma is fully cooked, now we have to enjoy it. So we are enjoying our vipaka or suffering our vipaka, and we still, hrid vag vapur bhir vidadan namaste. Hrid, still with the heart, hrid, vag with the words and vapur with the body, vidadan namaste, he offers obeisances to you wholeheartedly. Means everything he does in his heart is for you with humility. Everything he speaks is for you. Everything he does with his body, vapur, he offers full-fledged obeisances. That person, Krishna, bhakti and mukti becomes he's eligible for that. That person is eligible. And he doesn't complain about all the bad things happening. But that's not the core of this verse. He says he waits for your mercy. Waits. Now the word for the mercy here is called anukampa. Have you heard this word anukampa? Anukampa means mercy in Sanskrit. There are many words for mercy in Sanskrit. One is daya, kripa, anukampa. Anukampa is like next level. Anukampa literally means, anu means following and kampa means trembling, kampana. Krishna comes and sits next to you. He feels your pain, he trembles, and from that point of understanding, he gives you his mercy, anukampa. He becomes anukampa. Can you imagine how intimate that is? That Krishna comes and sits next to you, you're crying, you're going through misery, he sits next to you, no, I feel your pain, like the mother. And he also trembles. He trembles. He feels your pain. You see, this feeling each other's pain is not only for humans and for jivas. Krishna does it too. He offers anukampa. From that level, from that understanding, he gives you his full mercy. Can you imagine his sweetness? Tatte anukampam sasamikshama. That's why we read Bhagavatam very carefully. It's very beautiful. We understand how merciful the Lord is to us, how ready he is for us. But we have to offer our full obeisances, hrid, vag, vapurbir, while also tolerating the miseries. We don't complain. We don't complain. We tolerate and we continue offering our service to the Lord with full heart. Then we become eligible for his anukampa. In the meantime, we can also offer anukampa to others by feeling their pain. See, it's very important. That's why it's a good point, Prabhu, that we have to have feelings. We have to be even more sensitive than other people. Because now, the world desensitizes us, teaches us, if you want to survive, you better become cold. You better start ignoring other people's pains, or you will not survive. But in Krishna consciousness, the other way around. You cannot survive in spiritual life if you ignore other people's pain. See, it's different. Everything is opposite in Krishna consciousness. In the corporate world, you cannot survive if you're humble and soft. People walk all over you. Everyone knows this. In the spiritual world, spiritual life, you cannot survive if you're being a jerk like you in the corporate world. If you're a jerk in the corporate world, you get promoted.
Yes.
We know that. You know how it works. Oh, these rascals, what's wrong with you? You can't do anything properly. Oh, you're so nice, he's going to be promoted. That's why CEOs are the most, psychopathic people in the world. Some of them. You know how it is. Sociopaths. Because you get promoted, those values get promoted in the corporate world. Sometimes we have to do that natak, that drama to succeed in the world. But in spiritual world, no. It's opposite. Then you have to be genuine, be humble, be sweet, be caring, be sensitive. Doesn't mean even in spiritual world you become a doormat and become abused. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying be sensitive. You see, don't let people walk all over you. Abuse is not acceptable either. So that has to be watch out for. Okay. Anybody else have any comments or questions?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I have a question.
Yes.
First of all, thank you so much for the wonderful class, Prabhu. I have a question. You just mentioned about these 4 mechanisms for spiritual growth.
Yes.
Sometimes we do these processes, but the enthusiasm, it comes in waves. Sometimes it goes and sometimes it comes and sometimes it completely resides. Right?
Recedes, yes.
Recedes, yeah. So it comes with a guilt also.
Sure.
So how to overcome that guilt and what should we tell our mind so that we continue in this journey with full faith?
It's very natural. That is very natural because it comes in waves, enthusiasm comes in waves. This is a stage actually. This is a stage our acharyas write about this. In the beginning, we become utsamayi. Utsamayi is different from utsaha. Utsamayi means the utsaha, the enthusiasm comes and goes. And then there's another stage called ghanatarala. Tarala means the waves. Ghanatarala. Like sometimes it gets thicker, sometimes it gets thin. This is very normal and natural. In bodybuilding and weight training, there's an exercise where you hold like 2 sidebars and you lift yourself up and down. These are called dips. And it strengthens this part. If you try in the beginning, if you're just beginning, you start going up and down, your whole body will shake. If you've ever tried that, like it starts really shaking, because you're not used to it. And so the smoothness is not there. The shaking happens because you're just not used to it. Your muscles are not used to it. With too much inertia, they're weak and sound spirit. But you have to keep doing it. And then the more you keep doing it, the more less shakes there will be, the more smoothness there will be. After a while, it'll become effortless. Same thing with anything. You learn to ride a bicycle. In the beginning, you'll be shaking, and after a while, it's like, that shaking part, if the child gives up during the shaking part, it's not going to happen. I'm not cut out for this. Then they'll never learn to ride a bicycle. So similarly, in Krishna consciousness, these ups and downs, they're like the shaking in the beginning. We have to power through and ignore the ups and downs because it's a long haul. We have to recognize that the initial excitement may not last forever. Even as we started, we get excited, but that's why we say go gradually, do what you can, but do consistently. You see, if a drop of water keeps falling on a rock, very slowly, one after another. Okay, it's like 1,000 gallons, but one drop at a time, it'll make a big hole in the rock over a long time. But if you pour all 1,000 gallons in one shot, there'll be nothing. Nothing will happen to the rock. So a little bit at a time. Tipe tipe, sarvar bharai. Drop after drop. You'll fill the whole lake. So the patience is required. Now there are 6 things that will guarantee the success of your Krishna conscious endeavor. They're found in the nectar of instruction. That's correct. What are the 6 things? You know them. Utsaha. Utsaha means enthusiasm. Utsaha, nishchaya, dhairya, tat karma pravartanat, sangatyaga sato vritte, shadbir bhaktir prasiddhyati. So what are these 6 things? Let's just talk about the first 3. Utsaha means enthusiasm. But enthusiasm Prabhupada defines as what? Intelligence applied with execution. Not just excitement. We think enthusiasm means excitement. No. Enthusiasm actually in this context means you apply your intelligence and execute intelligently. That's utsaha. Nishchaya. Nishchaya means determination. I'm going to do this. Because to overcome that inertia, you need that determination. To overcome, there's a lot of things holding us back. So many conditioning things that are holding us back. But we want to overcome those. It requires a push. That's called nishchaya. Determined. I'm determined to do it no matter what. You see. And then the third one is dhairya. Now I've put in utsaha and nishchaya, but I'm not seeing the consistency in the feeling. That's okay. To keep going, you need what? Dhairya means patience. Utsaha, nishchaya, dhairya. If you keep those three things always as part of your process, at the back of your mind, at the front of your mind, then you can power through these ups and downs. There are going to be ups and downs. I mean, think in anything in life. You want to be good at golf, you'll have ups and downs. You want to be good in your career, you have ups and downs. You want to be good in studies, you won't always have perfect, record. Or it's not going to be perfectly easy every single time. Any stage in life we've had ups and downs, but we powered through them, right? Relationships. Those of us who are married, we've always had arguments always there. Nobody has a marriage without argument. But we power through them, we resolve them. It's okay. You can't just end the marriage because you argued about, one little thing, right? Although nowadays that happens too, just, one little thing. But because we have some maturity, so we, it's okay, let's move through. Let's move on. Let's let it go. So in Krishna consciousness too, we need consistency. We need utsaha, nishchaya, dhairya. That's why these words are given for us for a reason, these frameworks. We have to meditate on those. This Nectar of Instruction, you all should read very carefully, the whole book. It's only 11 verses, very thin book, very skinny book, only 11 verses. You can memorize all the verses. And each verse is power-packed with this sort of frameworks that you can apply. And then if you're thinking, what to do, you read that. Oh yeah, it makes sense now. Actually, I have a whole series of Nectar Instruction if you want to.
Yes.
You saw that?
Yeah.
Yeah, on the YouTube channel. I actually put a lot of effort in that one.
I was following up till verse 5,
Yeah.
4.
Right.
5.
Yeah. Because it's full of this. A lot of the questions that come up in applying Krishna consciousness, like I would say 80% of them are answered in Nectar of Instruction, if you read the verses. All these questions, this is a very common question, how to power through when this enthusiasm wanes or is not consistent, But our acharyas have already seen through all of those very nicely. Rupa Goswami. So, yes, please take some time to read that. It's very good. Yes, Prabhu.
So what are the activities which will fuel these three things?
Yeah, these three things are mindsets. So, okay, I'll just answer your question, but you can continue. That's fine, he's busy. But it's a good question. What are the different things that can fuel these three things? Utsaha, nishchaya, dhairya. The answer is in one of the other words in that verse. Sangatyagat. And then, Sangha means what? Association. So you give up bad association that's going to pull you away from Krishna, and you do satsang or sadhu sang. Sangha means association. If you split it apart, the word is sang and ga. Ga means go. The English word go comes from Sanskrit ga, to go. Sang means together, to go together. So we go somewhere together. Chal chalte kahin pe. We go somewhere together. Then you become closer when we go somewhere together, isn't it? So the secret is Sangha. You want to associate with devotees who already have some of these qualities. That's why we're so happy when Guru Maharaj comes, because even a few minutes, sadhu sangha, sarva shastra koy. Lava matra sadhu sangha, sarva siddhi hoy. So even one moment of sadhu sangha, but how does it actually work? You actually think, how does sangha work? Now, has anybody here been to an Indian wedding? Yeah? Okay. Indian weddings are different from Western weddings, Prabhu. I'm just letting Prabhuji know. I don't know if you should see it. It's a whole hilarious. So, I went to an Indian wedding once. Of course, I was married in an Indian wedding myself. But I went to another wedding that I didn't even know the family or anything. Now, at the end of the wedding ceremony, right, then they're bidding farewell It's called Vidai. Now I said to myself, I'm not going to cry in this Vidai. First of all, I don't even know the girl. I know the guy. I don't even know the family. He's my father's business friend, who I've never met before. We just happened to be visiting India, so let's go. Nice wedding, everything. The guy is wearing the turban and the thing, and so I'm not going to cry in this. No way. So then it's time for Vidai, and then those people come up with the Shainai and then everyone's like, and then they start playing those Vidai songs and Babul ki dua. Anyway, it's hilarious. I'm going to smile through this. And then so I'm standing there, and everyone's getting ready. I was the first one to start crying. Why am I crying? I don't know. And everybody else started crying. Are they crying because of me, or I'm crying because of them? Then I realized the power of association. It affects you in a visceral level, very heartfelt level. I don't even know the language. They cry, I have to cry. It's the nature. Association. I got carried away, the whole thing, as if she was my sister or something. As if I raised her as my daughter or something. But the mood becomes so strong because, if the love that they had for this girl flows through their tears into my tears, I already know them. So if that association is so powerful, what to speak of a devotee who is actually in love with Krishna? So then their enthusiasm, their determination, their patience, it all rubs off on us in a very meaningful way. Very meaningful way. We see it in action. We say, if they can do it, I can do it. And their blessings also work. That's why Sangha, to answer your question, what are the activities? The activities are to maximize Sangha with progressive devotees. And discuss these things. The discussion is an activity. Discuss, like how we're discussing right now. Take it apart. Discuss it. How are we going to progress? That's a fantastic activity. It's part of the 4 activities, by the way. Read together. You take it apart. And then when you get to meet a devotee, like, when Guru Maharaj comes and you see how powerful that effect is. I'll give you another example. When I was about 15 or something, I just started chanting Hare Krishna for about a year or two. And I was visiting the town of Dakor. Have you heard of Dakor? Those of you from Gujarat know Dakor. Dakor is a sacred holy town, not far from our town in Gujarat. So, and I said, this is the first time, this is Krishna's deity, I'm a Hare Krishna devotee, when the curtain opens, my heart will melt, and I'll have tears in my eyes. Nothing. The heart opened, I'm just looking. Come on, I'm a Hare Krishna, I'm supposed to be crying. Nothing, I was completely dry, like stone, Krishna looked very beautiful. I said, Krishna is very beautiful, but why my heart is not moved? Then someone was poking me from the side like this. I looked around. Oh, this lady, she must be at least 86 years old. Skinny Indian lady with thick Coke bottle glasses, very skinny, young, not young, old, 86. And she was pushing me aside because she was so short, right, only 4 feet. And I moved aside and I looked at her. And she had tears in her eyes. And she's looking like this, the deity of Krishna, and you could see she has so much love for Krishna. When I saw her, then my eyes filled with tears. Not by looking at the deity. When I saw her, then I realized, wow, this is called power of association. Because of her association, just seeing her tears, she never spoke a word. She just told me to get out of the way. And I felt so bad I was standing in front of her. But then I learned so much from that one interaction. I still remember it. This is called Lavamatra Sadhu Sangha Sarva Siddhi Hoy. That I don't need to look at Krishna. I need to look at devotees who are looking at Krishna with eyes of pure. Premanjana churita bhakti vilochanena santa sadaiva hridayesha vilokayanti yam shama sundaram achintya guna swarupam govindam adi purusham tamaham bhajami. Premanjana churita bhakti vilochanena. You understand what I'm saying? Their eyes are tinged with the salve of love. Prema anjana churita bhakti vilochanena. Lochan's eyes. Santa Sadaiva, the saints, Santa Sadaiva Hridayeshu, in their hearts, Vilokayanti, always just filled with love for Krishna. Yam Shama Sundaram Achintya Guna Swarupam. You understand these words? Sham Sundar Krishna, Achintya, inconceivable. Inconceivable qualities, Guna Swarupam, many forms. To that Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. That is how it works. Santa. That's why we do satsang. That's why we do sadhu sang. Sangati. You see, you want to go there. Gati means your final destination, where you're going to go. Sangha. You go together. Gati means where you end up. But we cannot go if we are facing a different way. Where we are facing in life, your orientation in life, your consciousness where it's facing, it's called mati. Mati na Krishna paradasatova. But to change your mati to Krishna is very difficult because our mati for time immemorial has been toward selfishness. Selfishness, Maya. But now we want to change it to Krishna consciousness. So mati is your orientation in life. If your mati, that's why sadhu's best blessing is Krishna mati rastu. Krishna mati rastu. If you get that blessing from a sadhu, you have succeeded. May your orientation, may your consciousness be guided, be pointed toward Krishna. Javi mati tevi gati. Yeah, you know everything. These are Gujarati shlokas. Wherever is your mati, that's your gati. Gati means your destination. So where your consciousness is pointed is where you'll end up. See? That's why Sangha, to answer your question, the value of Sangha is incalculable. But we have to take it. We have to absorb it. We have to apply it. We have to parse it out. We have to see what was it that was so amazing about this Sangha. How can I retain it? How can I not lose it? How can I preserve this nectar and not leak it away because Monday came and I'm focused on work? No, let's preserve it. Hold on to it. Okay? Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All right, John.
One last kirtan.
Oh, kirtan? Okay, sure. Okay, fine. Yes, we'll do a little kirtan.
15 to 20 minutes.
Yes, that's good. You can just take the table away, I guess. You can fold it away now.